So good morning, active traders, and welcome to our Trading Week Ahead live broadcast. All information is for educational use only. Learn from people who have tax return proof like I do that they're actually really trading. That's really, really important. Most of the educators, not to beat them up too much, but I would give preference to people that have tax return proof, not just broker screen caps that could be photoshopped or whatever, but real tax return proof of real money trades they've done. That separates out a lot of folks. Anyway, been around since the dawn of time. Let's go ahead and find the intro title slide. Well, anyway, welcome to Trading Week Ahead. Let's go ahead and get started with today's session. As always, we start off by looking at the broad market. The S&P was up for the last 2 months. Last week, another big up week, but the challenge that we're seeing is 4 out of 5 candles were red yesterday. 4 out of 5, indicating despite the index movement, it's largely been as a result of gaps up. Don't be misled by the popular media that's saying we have a rally day on Wall Street. Allow me to retort, to quote Quentin Tarantino's great movie Kill Bill. Allow me to retort. Say what again, right? I've been watching Kill Bill. I like Tarantino. Anyway, the point is, gap, look at yesterday. Yesterday was a gap rollover, so it was a selling day yesterday in Wall Street. But they don't tell you that, right? They tell the general public, we have another record-breaking Santa Claus rally day. No, bull honky. The market was off by a quarter of a stick yesterday, quarter of a point yesterday. The S&P was down 0.22% from the open. The first half hour was nothing but selling in the stock market. Then it got a little dead cat bounce. Wow, whoosh, from 10 to 10:30. That's the 10 o'clock pivot. At 10 o'clock, the market bounced as it often does. It'll pivot, but it ultimately ended up down on the day. So the market is showing some weakness. You know, the street, how to say, the media that's for the public consumption is for the average people that aren't as smart as you and I, right? That are just there for maybe long-term investing, and that's fine, I guess. But as active traders, we need to be a little more astute and identify key market internal signals before, or like I did yesterday, profitably. I made so much money yesterday. Boom, nailed it, baby. The VIX popped yesterday, so that's really important. The first big VIX day we've had green day we've had in 3 weeks, right? Since back here on the 10th. So really good pop over the 50 SMA and the VIX. That tells us that the market may be, not guaranteed, but maybe ready to give it up and start to sell off a little bit. So I'm short the market. I bought me some TVIX. Shenanigans in the market yesterday. I bought where I told my traders to buy at 50.6, and I called a live exit at 52.30. Now I screwed up. I won't say I screwed up. I made a erroneous trading decision and bought at 52.18, which was a bad entry. But I rebought and stopped out on the way down. But I rebought the pivot and I rebought on the closing range breakout. And currently, post-market, if we look at the tape, it's really important to follow the tape. Tape reading is one of my core areas of expertise, and I wrote the original first article, I think almost 20 years ago, for Active Trader magazine on tape reading, the tale of the tape. And I did the industry's first ever tape reading seminar in the year 2000 at the Sheraton Anaheim, right north side of Disneyland. Back when I was speaking at the expo, I also did a tape reading seminar at the Grand Ballroom there, and it was packed full with people, even they flew in from around the world. So it was, anyway, I'm the original tape reader. Anyway, we closed post-market, the most recent prints 52.7. So it's definitely an uptick in our VIX instruments, which tells you to do 2 things. At least that tells me to do 2 things, which I am. For example, I'm long TQQQ. I play both sides of the market. A good professional approach always involves having both directions of the market covered, and you shift your capital, or kind of like sector rotation. You're allocating your capital to wherever's making you the most money, and then get out of Dodge at the first sign of trouble. So I'm long TQQQ, but like one of my traders said, I'd be selling it. The sell stop would be a loss of 86 on a 2-day low. Similarly, bought me some TVIX yesterday. And it's mostly a story of green candles and it's flat. Now, often before a bounce, see, this thing's been trending down, right? It had been 120, now down to 50. So it got cut in half the last few weeks. But before a bounce, often, as you know, if you know technical analysis, you often see a consolidation. So you get the sell-off. If it's a strong sell-off like this has been, a steady grind sell-off, when it slows down and goes sideways, like it has the last 2 weeks, that oftentimes is a precursor to a bounce. So that's why I put on just small shares, just 40 shares, just a couple thousand worth. I'm short the market, maybe $4,000 worth of inverses, all told. I'll scale that up significantly if the market does drop anytime soon. But any of these inverses are worth keeping on the radar for if and when they bounce. And those are the kind of things that we like to cover in addition to directional breakouts and charts that make sense. Now here's some charts that my members got this past week or so. APO is a good example of a uptrending steady chart going from 37 to 49. Notice please, we always slow down right near the 9. So you never buy a 9. Where would you go long this chart? This is an audience participation question. Type in an answer. Have some coffee if you haven't had some coffee yet. You got about 10 minutes left, so. Caffeine is a trader's best friend. Anyway, long in this would be somewhere over the 50 because you don't buy anything with a 9 in it. Because often that leads to this stall, either bearish engulfing here or a slowdown. Look at the region between a 9 and a decade value is kind of like the Great Wall of China. That's your exit, get off the boat strategy. Or within points. You know, if you buy, say, for a day trade, say you buy something at $12.20 a share, you buy at $12.20 a share, you would sell up at, say, $12.90 a share. You always sell right under whole numbers, or at least tighten up a trailing stop. Anyway, so that was one of our picks. For small caps, we had some that run extremely well for our members in small cap scans. ISEE is one. AVP, another winner for our members. VIPS, yet another good steady directional runner for week after week after week the last couple of months. It's all about consistency and about profitability and about dodging bullets by using very tight stops and trading, like I say, trade wide, not deep. You play the field. You play a number of different instruments. Anyway, so good directional volatility in this guy. Now, if you want charts and how to trade them, be sure to get my second chance offer at the All Access Pass website. You can go to crushwallstreet.com and that'll take you over to the page. I've got it on sale. A quick tip. If you're on the fence wondering, the main thing I can speak to is not only am I the #1 rated author in the world, oh, please vote for me again. If you haven't yet voted for me for stocks and commodities, Reader's Choice voting is open until the end of the month, which is like tomorrow or the next day or whatever. So if you are a stocks and commodities subscriber, I would appreciate it if you would vote for me. I was voted #1 and #2 in the world last year. I appreciate that for all of you who did the votes. But the main thing to look at before deciding to work with me, I would say, would be the testimonial reel. And these are actual captured from people who came to my live Vegas and Denver and New York and in California seminars. I've done training all over the world. Anyway, take a look at what other people say about me, and these are all captured at live events that I did. Very few people in the industry get that level of enthusiasm from their traders. I'm trying to work through this. I came up with a new headline: accelerate your potential skills and success fast. And the main thing is you get to work with me all next year. And by the way, it may be a tax deductible expense. You have to check with your CPA or other tax preparation professional, depending on where in the world you are, but may be tax deductible. I would get that order in before the end of the year, which only gives you a couple of days, right? At least by December 31st. And you'll get access to work with me in the live trading room, And try before you buy. I did this in the wee hours of the morning. Oh, I worked so hard for you guys. Anyway, download videos of every single session we did in the live room last week and the last 2 weeks worth of swing scans. Audit the performance. Check the success rate, the honesty, the authenticity, the integrity, the brilliant technical analysis and step-by-step walkthroughs and all the answers, the questions that I gave to traders. Check all that out carefully. Download and skim through the videos. So what I would do is there may be 200 megs each for the live room and 100 meg each for these. Or you got a thing you can click and it'll stream it. Kind of skim and scan through it and say, hey, does this guy know what he's talking about? And if you join thousands of other folks who agree, then order this. For less than the price of one of my 2-day seminars, you get me 6 days a week. So, okay, enough sales pitch. Back to it. But go to crushwallstreet.com if you want more, intelligent, potentially extremely successful. If you look at the testimonials of my traders that I've worked with the last 21 years, you can see why I'm the trader's choice, especially for intraday and swing trading, stocks and ETFs. Now, I don't cover futures. And I don't cover Forex anymore because I want to focus on the thing that I've done the best at, which is stocks and ETFs, usually priced in the teens up to $20, $30, maybe $40 a share. Those are the kind of charts that we like. Hey, good points. Hey, good here, Walter about IWM. Yeah, good point, Steve. Hey, Jim. A question from Jim. Ken, what support resistance levels do I use for my day trades greater than the 2-day display setup, which is great and works? That's it. And that's a smart question. Thanks. I've got that before. But if you're day trading, you're looking for support and resistance. For example, these were some of the charts on our watch list yesterday. I reluctantly cover these cheap charts because they're inconsistent. This is why number one advice I give you as a day trader, I'm the originator and founder, the sole founder of the original Day Trading University from the year 1999, which I founded back when I was living in Honolulu from an oceanfront condo, all by myself. As I've taught traders, these charts, I don't know about y'all, but my name's Paul. It's between y'all. My name's Bennett. I'm not in it. Or Pulp Fiction quotes. Anyway, I'm not going to do well trying to trade a choppy chart like this. I do much better with charts that have some consistency to them, which are usually in the $15, $20, $30 share range. Like Hugin, I covered long for my members. And look, download the video from the 26th and look at the exact trigger I gave my members. This kind of chart is much better either for an open range breakout or one of my favorite strategies that helps me make even more money in my actual live real money trades. I've done millions of dollars worth of trades. I know how to trade. Intraday swing trading. Make that a core foundation part of what you do as an active trader. You have my word on it. That's very, very important because you dodge the risk of overnight holds in case there's a gap against you, which happens all the time, right, or frequently. And you don't have to get your timing is exactly right, and your risk can be lower potentially because you trade smaller share size. I'd much rather do, say, a 50 or 100 share trade on the open and sell it at 3:30 or 4 in the afternoon, or take a small stop under support on small share size rather than trade some ridiculous 1,000 or 2,000 shares and try and scalp out and grind out a 10 or 20 cents using a level 2 box. That's for morons. Anybody that day trades over 1,000 shares at a time is a moron. That's my official word on it. I'm the top educator when it comes to active intraday trading. Founder of the original Day Trading University for 21 years. I'm the top expert in this game. Not these young kids who are out there on Instagram. They spend their lives on social media. Get a life. Trade things that have more consistency. I'm just saying. But that was a good question from a trader. This is all I need, right? Like Amron. Knock it out of the park. Boom. Flawless. What the market gives, the market takes away. Reasons to love open range breakout day trading. You always sell right under whole numbers because oftentimes you get a stall or reversal within 20 cents or so of the whole numbers. So if you buy, like my stocks and commodities article, or I had Twitter as an example. Now AMD has been good for us lately, but not this week. This week it's been kind of flat, which is also another reason to be careful. One of our best movers was Rite Aid, and I'd covered this one. Download the videos and take a look at my exact alerts for the gap day back on, I think it was Tuesday. We knocked it out of the park back on the 24th. I think that was the biggest winning day in RAD. And what you'll notice is that I have the alerts table with specific entries identified before the market opens. I usually show up in the live room around 8:30, 8:45, and I'm there till 10:30, 10:45. So 5 days a week, you get both day and swing trading calls, and you can ask about charts. Right, so look at this Friday chart. Now, I told my traders this is likely a bit overextended, so it may give back, do a mean reversion, pivot back down to the 14-15 region. So I'm not swing trading RAD. It's too expensive. And that's another good tip too. When it comes to swing trading, you want charts that go, I don't know, a little more something like this, where it's a steady uptrender, where it's easy to scale in without having to dodge pullbacks and reversals and all that foolishness. That's too much work. What you want is to keep it simple, keep it straightforward, and keep it profitable. And the way that I found, at least in my own trades, my biggest winning real money trades that I've made the most money in, and I'm very good at this, are ones in which I have consistency of charts and pattern recognition skills that make sense, like yesterday's setup for the winning TVIX. I'm just going to go over that again because I've got a love-hate relationship with this. Like, I've had my biggest winning days and some of my biggest losing days trading TVIX this past couple of years. So it's when it works great. When it doesn't, not so much. But yesterday, it did the entire previous day's trading range. This is a pattern. If you've got a Mont Blanc pen, or even if you don't have a Mont Blanc pen, it's a writer, to quote my favorite marketing consultant, the world's top marketing consultant is Daniel S. Kennedy, from whom I base my entire business on. And I've done millions in sales. It's very effective. You give honest training, teach people what they actually can benefit from. And Brian Tracy and Tony Robbins, three of my core foundational influences. Robbins, Brian Tracy, who I interviewed twice. You can Google Brian Tracy, Ken Calhoun interview, and you can download those or listen to those. He's brilliant. Look for patterns that lead to successful breakouts. And when something has so much price action that it traverses, kind of like a bullish engulfing thinking, it traverses the entire previous day's range before the market even opens. You always expect a shake on the open, so that's why I didn't put a long at, say, 50.20 or 50.30. I told my members we'd go long up here at 50.6. And more importantly, your exits are more important than entries. What I'm more proud of than the fact that I said to everybody, and you can download proof, the video on the All Access page, was that I called the live exit at 52.30. That's world-class exits for an active day trader. And that was very good, and I called the live. Download the video and watch. You can see recorded yesterday. I'm quite good at this. So anyway, that's the type of thing that you'll get once you join my All Access Pass. Work with me 6 days a week. Or if time is limited, which I guess it is technically for everybody, at least join the live room on days in which the S&P is at a 2-day high or in the process of taking out a new high. So you don't have to be there all 5 days a week, but pick at least 2 or 3 days where the market is the strongest, or you have questions, or you just want a friendly voice of intelligence to help you walk through the markets. From a sector standpoint, that's all red. It had been all green, but last week is not a story of they're buying pharmaceuticals much, right? That's our DRG. If you look at our Philly Semiconductor, the SOX, you can see similarly a bearish engulfing, right? That is a sell signal in the semiconductors. So if you're long, Taiwan Semi or AMD or Micron or any of those that have been racing up nicely lately, now's probably a good time to take profit. That's what I'm going to do. I'm tightening up. I have tightened up trailing stops on all my open long positions, and I flipped to putting on a small hedge, a small few $1,000s worth of inverse instruments yesterday because of the spike in the VIX. That kind of thinking is critically important to your success as a trader. You need to know these kind of things. And what's good is I break it all down so it's simple and easy to understand. So I know I'm out of time this morning and I've got to pack a lot of content in, but Thinking technically and thinking about your unrealized P&L and being able to identify the charts that make the most sense to trade is what I like to help people with in my live room and my other services. So Happy New Year. Be safe out there. Absolutely. You know better than to drink and drive or text and drive or prescription medicine and drive or recreational whatever and drive. Be cautious about people that aren't as careful as we are and that are out there driving like nuts. So I say that a lot because I live here in Colorado. In the last couple of years, we've got a lot of people moved here from out of state. So my house value went up a lot, which is nice, but at the cost of it's a little more crowded and bad drivers from out of state who are impatient and they tailgate and they speed. Back in the good old days, 5-10 years ago, the Springs was a little more peaceful. Anyway, have a happy, safe, and prosperous New Year ahead. Be sure to visit Crush Wall Street. Let me give you a visual anchor for the fellow NLP folks out there. That's a visual anchor to memorize this. The earlier offer was $9.97. That's gone forever. Like a stock price that goes up, you snooze, you lose. I got so many people join this past week or so. It's burning the midnight oil. I had to work on Christmas Day, like 3 hours fulfilling orders. Don't do that anymore, Calhoun. Don't put Christmas as a deadline unless you want to work on Christmas Day, which I generally don't like to do, but it's in service of y'all, so that's what I'm here for. Do be sure to join now. You have my word. I'm very good at this, and I'm smart, and I am friendly. I answer questions. You can ask charts, pull up charts together, and I can give you my best take on number one, is it worth trading? And number two, if it is, which frequently my traders come up with so many great charts lately, I give specific entries and exits and the rest of it. So anyway, I'm not a bullshitter. I'm not a con artist. I'm an honest UCLA former corporate training consultant and statistician at the Ford Motor Company and quality engineer, and been around the block a few times. So hopefully you'll want to trust me with your trading education. And I'm here 6 days a week for you guys, so I put in the long hours to help you guys make more, hopefully bigger winning trades more often a way of life. So thanks for being here. And thanks, Mark. I appreciate it. Hey, you too, Mira. Best wishes for a happy, healthy, safe, peaceful, and prosperous New Year. Couldn't have said it better myself. Thanks. It's great meeting you and your husband. You're nice people. Hey, you too. Hey, Vincenzo. Happy New Year to you folks as well. Hey, Rajiv is asking, how do I come up with symbols on my watch list? Very carefully. Now, usually I'll just look at standard leaderboard scans in my Fidelity Active Trader Pro workstation. You can do that in virtually any brokerage. You can look at the percent gainers on the day from the open. That's another big benefit about my approach is I do not have any upsells. I don't have any back ends that are required. You don't have to buy any scanning software. You don't have to buy any special charting software. You don't have to use any special broker. Use whoever you want. I recommend Ameritrade, number one, Fidelity, number two, Interactive Brokers, number three. One of those three, and only those three. Interactive Brokers, TradeStation's good too. But my top three picks are TD Ameritrade, because you get the Thinkorswim platform included free. But use any of the charting software you want, whether it's TradeStation or Ninja or eSignal like I use, or Thinkorswim, or that's another benefit to my approach is you can adapt it to any broker and any charting software that you're using. So you're not locked into anything at all. I'm here, at your service. So anyway, I think that's about it. Let's wrap. Hey, Mukesh. Hey, Phil. Hey, Mukesh, be sure to sign up for this deal. It's my second best offer I've ever done in the history of my company. Hey, Phil, going to be a great New Year because of your teaching. Thanks a million, and stay healthy. Yeah, you too. The older you get, the tougher it is to stay healthy, but I do exercise daily, so that's good. And I play tenor sax usually 3-4 times a week for fun. I love classic jazz. It's just one of my passions. Trading and teaching are my top two passions, and jazz is music, my other third. So that'd be my top three. Teaching, trading, that's my top two, and then music would be number three. So have some musicality to your life. Music helps, and things like gaming. I don't play video games anymore, but anyway, things like video games and Musicianship helps you with visual pattern recognition skills that can really help translate into becoming more accurate and more focused and more time sensitive, more urgent as an active trader. Anyways, I've got a jet. I've got swing scans coming up in a few minutes. You folks have been great to work with. Thank you so much for your ongoing loyalty. Look forward to working with you next year as well. And I will continue these Saturday shindigs so you can get to know me and test out what I teach. Look at the validity, look at the success rate, and then try and emulate it. Try and figure out how can you adapt this to your own personal circumstance and hopefully make bigger winning trades more often and a little more consistently, right? 2 things to avoid. Avoid stocks under $10 and avoid trading large size. And especially don't trade stocks under $10 on large size. That's for idiots, morons, gamblers, and fools. They don't last. You only see people under 30 or under 35 or whatever teaching that approach because they don't have any experience. Those of us who have been around for a couple of decades know how to trade. And you want to trade charts that are consistent, that have better profit potential, better price action, directional volatility, and then combine it with a very healthy dose of risk management. And as always, small stops are the rule of the game. So trade smart, trade carefully, trade with passion, or at least with an interest in making some money, and let's go get them for next year too. So Happy New Year. And thank you sincerely for being here. I appreciate it. I know you could be looking at other things like, I don't know, TikTok videos, or Instagram, but you've got a life and you're interested in trading more effectively. So I hope that I've earned your trust and that I can become part of your trusted coaching group to help you make better winning trades more consistently in the year ahead. So let's do this. And I've got swing scans coming up, so I got a jet. Take care, folks, and I'll see you next time.